You are now listening to the Nasi Lemak Podcast. My name is Cynthia.
I'm Xiang Huan.
So today we are going to talk about, would you rather to own a car or travel in public transport in Klang Valley? So before getting your answer, right, I would like to share a little bit of statistic, which is I found from online. So I found that like 52.84 of the people prefer to travel with their private automobile, and 20.35% of the respondents prefer to travel with private motorcycle, which is like more than 50 of the people in Malaysia actually prefers to travel with their own vehicles. So which categories do you fall in?
For me personally, I think I will still fall under the more than half categories, which is basically 52%. So I prefer to own a car or basically to travel around Klang Valley with my private vehicles or automobiles.
For me personally, I will still own a car, but I actually prefer to travel in public transport. So you mentioned about you would like to travel in your private vehicle. So what are the reasons?
The main issue is that there's limited coverage. It's not like the public transport connected to every single places. Yes, definitely it actually connected to all those main places, or even like the what they call those main attractions, like KLCC, Bukit Bintang, back then the Berjaya Times Square. So all these places is actually well connected, but then still it requires you to actually take multiple switch, like probably from LRT to monorail, or from KTM to monorail, or probably if you take buses, then probably from bus to the others public transport. I personally still prefers to own a car, or like travel around Klang Valley with my own vehicles. So this is the main reason why even until now, like even we probably some of you might say that, or we have MRT, is well connected, so on. But then still, it did implant in my mind, as in, I still prefer to drive in KL, even though I don't like to drive in KL.
Yeah, I kind of agree because like the limited coverage and connectivity here in Klang Valley, like I agree what you mean. Like in the KL city center, there's quite a lot of like choices for you to reach there. But for let's say when we go to like rural areas, let's say like Rawang or Shah Alam, so there's limited public transportation that can reach there.
Yeah, unless you take Grab.
Yeah. I do agree with what you mentioned, but don't you find that like traveling in cars, there's a lot of like issues, especially in Klang Valley? Okay, the first one is gonna be like the traffic jam, because the traffic jam here in Klang Valley is worse, terrible. Very, very terrible. And also another thing I find that is like you have so many tolls in Klang Valley. Like I don't get the concept of so many tolls in Klang Valley, because like I understand like paying tolls when you travel across state.
Yeah.
But in Klang Valley itself, there's like so many tolls. It's just like different district, or maybe it's the same district, but you still have to pay for
the
tolls.
same zone.
Yeah, but you still have to pay for the tolls. Like I don't get this kind of concept.
The whole idea is that so that they can make more money.
Okay, yeah. Anyways, that's why I don't like traveling in cars in Klang Valley. Like you have like the traffic jam, the tolls, and also whenever you have to go somewhere, right, it's very hard for you to find a parking.
Like what I say is, I prefer to drive in KL, but I don't like driving in Klang Valley. I mean, not only KL, but probably Klang Valley, because like all you mentioned is valid. Traffic jam, then the tolls, and the parking.
Yeah, exactly. Like for the traffic jam, right? Without the traffic jam, the distance for you to go to there might takes about like 50 minutes. But with the traffic jam, it might takes you longer, like up to like 1 hour or 1 hour and a half, like that.
Everyone driving in Klang Valley, KL, Selangor, whatsoever, definitely able to resonate with this. Like, between the short distance, probably just a 15-minute travel distance, but it might end up 1 hour or even more than 1 hour because of the traffic jam.
Exactly. So like whenever you are like meeting up with your friends and then you're stuck in the jam, and be like, hey, where are you? Oh, on the way.
Yes, especially like us, like we always on the road between Klang Valley for meetings, or even for production, deployment, and so on. So even though like our daily routine or like daily travel to office, all of us like we don't really facing that kind of traffic jam issues. Some of us is just basically walking distance. So yeah, but then still when it comes to meetings, meeting in KL, meeting in PJ, meeting in Damansara, we still need to travel to the client place.
We need to estimate like 1 hour early
Yes,
to go out.
sometimes even more. So probably if let's say the meeting is 10 in the morning, we have to left office at probably 7 in the morning
Just
to avoid the
traffic jam.
or even
Yeah.
to buffer if we stuck in the jam.
Or even find parking. But even some area you are willing to pay.
It's not guaranteed you have a
Yeah.
space.
Exactly. So like I mean like that's for me lah, that's the bad side of traveling in car in Klang Valley lah. I recently found that like in Penang, right, like the amount of cars is getting higher.
Because basically it's one of the main city in Malaysia.
I don't know like previously when I was still in Penang, right, back in Penang, when I want to come out from my house, there's like 2 main roads to come out. So recently I found that like these two main roads
is occupied.
Yeah, like even when you want to go out from your house, it's already stuck. Like I don't know why the cars in Penang is also getting
let me share with you like 11 years ago when I first came to KL, right, especially Kepong. So I do have this issue of getting out from my housing areas. It's just smooth. Like I do not even need to wait or even worry about I couldn't get out from my resident area. But after 11 years, today, even getting out from our resident area, right, or my housing area, right, is the pain. It's a big issue because basically there will be long queue when you turn out from the security post. It's definitely the main road.
Yeah.
So now the main road is occupied every day. It's a pain for the resident to actually drive out or even to leave the housing area. So that is the changes. So I think probably you grew up in Penang, so you used to experience the kind of like there's no car, no traffic jam, but now it's slowly getting serious and serious and serious. So that's why you discovered the changes.
I think also probably because like I used to travel in motorcycle, like I cut all the jams, but now it's a bit dangerous for me to drive a motorcycle here in KL lah.
I think I would never encourage taking motorbikes or motorcycles in Klang Valley because basically there's a lot of potholes on the road. So basically sometimes it's like not only motorbikes or motorcycle, even driving also could be a potential risk because of all these potholes. So that we will talk about it in other episodes. But then like back to the current topic, as a person that prefer to utilize all this public transport, right? What will be the benefit of utilizing or like taking public transport in Klang Valley?
I think the first one is you can avoid all the traffic jams.
Yep.
And then I think the second one for me is avoid to find parking and pay for parking. I don't know, but I found that the parking here in KL, especially the KL malls, like it's a bit, not a bit, it's very complicated. Expensive, it's okay, but it's very complicated. Like in my mindset, right, it's like parking is like one way in, one way out, so it's very clear road. But here in KL, especially the malls, I find that there are like many entrance and many exits. Like you have to figure like okay,
it's complicated design.
Yeah, like which entrance should you go? And then sometimes like in my normal mindset, right, entrance is supposed to be like, from ground floor and then just go in and then go up. But some of the malls here is like you go up and then you go down to the car park and then, or either you go down and then you go up to the car park. Like the parking here is a bit different from what I've always known.
Okay. So let's name one of the parking space that you found the most complicated in Klang Valley.
One Utama.
Okay.
Not just the parking space, even the mall inside is complicated. Until now, I still don't know which is owing, which is newing.
Yes, you are right in a way, as in like, because basically one Utama is kind of big.
And also Mid Valley also.
The layout is a bit. There's multiple entrance. There's multiple exits. So it's sometimes it's easily confused as in like whether which way to out, which way to
Yeah,
in.
yeah. Unless
Okay.
you are someone that is very, very familiar with that area. Another one is Mid Valley lah.
Yes.
Like Mid Valley is also complicated. That's why whenever I want to go to these malls, I will prefer to just take the public transport because it's easier for you to find the entrance to the public transport. Just go there and just pay for your ride, then just go up the MRT or LRT and then just relax. No stress at all. Don't have to find parking. Don't have to stuck in the jam or even stuck in the jam inside the parking.
Probably I have another suggestion for you to avoid all this pain about parking, valet parking.
Cannot lah. This one, valet parking also sometimes jam, like you stuck at the valet parking there.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. Like because basically probably because of the layout or even the design. So sometimes even myself, I'm not to say very, but familiar with Wang Utama. For myself, until now, I still don't really know how to recognize the new wing and old wing of Wang Utama. And even right now, they have a brand new wing.
I feel like there's wings, extend
Yes,
another wings.
Probably there is. Okay. So what else? Like, what are the benefits of like utilizing all this public transport?
I think the main reason are the two lah, like avoid jams, avoid parking, and then they actually have this called 1 day pass thing. So actually you only pay for 5 ringgit to travel around Klang Valley.
That's MRT, right?
Not just MRT, not just limited to MRT. Like you can utilize all the public transport like Rapid KL, LRT, MRT, monorail, and you just pay for 5 ringgit. So let's say if you want to do like a 1 day trip in Klang Valley, you need to travel around a lot of places lah. I think this 5 ringgit is worth lah. Actually, not just you don't have to say like, oh, I need to travel to a lot of place to utilize this 5 ringgit. Actually, like let's say from Kepong and then we travel to Putrajaya is like 4.90 one ride.
Okay.
So let's say if you buy this 5 ringgit, right? Like if you didn't purchase this 5 ringgit 1 day pass, like back and forth you need about like nearly 10 ringgit. But if you buy this 5 ringgit 1 day pass, it only costs you like it's actually save you a lot.
Yeah. Okay. So my knowledge about the 1 day pass is only MRT because basically that's how we utilize this 1 day pass, and I think it's only open for Malaysian citizen, right?
Yeah, Malaysian citizen. So whenever you want to purchase this 1 day pass, you just go over to the counter and then just give them your touch and go card and then also show them your IC. Yeah, and then just like that, just 5 ringgit and just go wherever you want. You can just go the whole day. It's for 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, but then still probably some people might say like even with MRT the coverage is still limited. Only to certain places, but it's definitely much more better than 10 years ago because basically before MRT, definitely the coverage is like way lesser than what we have right now. So with MRT, yes, I have to admit it actually connected more places.
Yeah. More, I mean, we cannot deny the fact that we still have the limitation of connectivity here in Klang Valley, but at the same time, it also already connects a lot of places lah to me. Like for those places that I want to go, actually there's like MRT connector, LRT connector. So to me, it's still convenience lah. So other than the 1 day pass, right, they actually have this like My 50, which is I think a benefit for those who travel with public transport every day. Like it really saves you a lot of money. So and recently I found out that like they introduced this OKU Smile Pass, which is a free ride for OKU starting from 1st of February. I mean, it's a good
1st
initiative.
of February, like the coming 1st of February or like last year?
The coming 1st of February, 1st of February 2024. This is what I recently found out. Like they newly introduced this for the OKU to get free rides.
Okay. Bravo to I don't know, like Anthony Locke, our transport minister.
Yeah, I mean, the government kind of have like a lot of like good initiative. Like, I'm not trying to say like how to say
like giving a good impression about the current government.
But just honest opinion.
Yes.
Like the public transport is like improving a lot to me lah. There's also like this Go KL City Bus, which is a free shuttle bus that travels around in KL area. These buses they also go to attraction places like KLCC or Dataran Merdeka.
Okay.
Other than that, these buses also I think travel in some residential area. I mean, not the typical very hot roads that tourists always use for.
So it's still applicable to. I mean, it's still a good alternative for those staying out of those main attractions, like
Mm.
for local people, I
Yeah, but
guess.
then you have to be inside KL because it travels only in KL.
I see.
I'm not sure about in Selangor, do they have this? I think they have, but I'm not really sure about this.
I wasn't too sure about Selangor. I think probably that because basically as what I know, like Selangor government giving a lot of good initiative, or also like a lot of good coverage for the people in Selangor. So probably I believe they do have like initiative for those public transport. Yeah.
Another thing is that like the public transport, right? A big issue for me, LRT, MRT, those I don't have quite a big issue, but the big issue for me is the bus. Like
Okay.
the inadequate of bus services. Like you're not sure which bus you should take or when is the bus coming. So normally I will use Google Map to check.
Okay.
Like I will just type in like from my location, my current location to my final destination, which type of public transport should I take.
Okay.
But I always find that whenever it requires bus, I will try to avoid bus because I'm not very sure with
Okay.
the schedule stuff. But then my friend told me that they have this Pulse app that you can actually look into all the bus schedule and even like which bus you need to take in order for you to reach the final destination. I still don't have this app in my phone lah. I'm not sure like what do you think about this app?
I have very limited knowledge about these Pulse apps. So I only use it once when the MRT first introduced. Because basically like when MRT first introduced, there's limited information about the road and the schedules. Even though like it do display the waiting time in the station itself, but then it's still probably sometimes we need to plan about our time and so on. So when MRT first introduced, especially the Putrajaya line, when it first introduced, I only use it for once. In this app itself, we just need to key in your departure. So it's like from where to where, and it will actually recommend different route or even path for you to actually travel to the destination. Like probably it will be a combination of buses, walking, and MRT, LRT, monorail. So basically it will recommend different type of road options and so on. I'm not too sure whether do they actually show the schedule of the buses or so on.
If I'm not mistaken, they do show the schedule, but is it on time or not? That this one, I think it's another story.
I think MRT, yes. MRT is definitely on time. MRT, yes. But for buses, I mean, it's understandable also, like because like for buses, there's traffic jam. I mean, still back to
the issue.
The main issue is in like for buses, they are travel on the road. So basically, there is traffic jams, sometimes congestions. So I guess it's very hard to justify whether would it be on time. And even with the Pulse app, I mean, definitely like for those that require to travel with public transport, Pulse app is definitely a good choice to plan your journey and also to find out the right option for your departure to destinations. Yeah.
To conclude lah, like why actually Malaysians prefer to own a car instead of taking a public transport, I think it's purely just because we are lazy. Because like what we mentioned just now, like, we tend to have like the closest to our final destination, as in like we tend to park in front of the place that we want to go, in front of the shop that we want to go. Like we don't even want to walk like more than 100 steps.
I wasn't too sure like lazy is the right the right words to actually classify them, but still I guess yeah, you are right in a way, as in like we prefer to have a better experience, a comfortable experience.
Like even if just cross the street, right, we were just like, oh, let's just take a car or let's just take a bike. So maybe to conclude, maybe we are just being lazy to walk, especially under the hot sun. Okay lah, understandable lah.
Yeah, our country used to be like summer like weather all the time. So
it's either summer or it's either raining.
Yeah.
Yeah, only 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we mentioned about like so many pros, cons. Not sure whether what's the audience take. So do you prefer to travel by public transport or do you prefer going with your own vehicle? So share in the comment section and thank you for listening and we'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you.